long as I've been in this game, I usually hear the same 7 words after I first meet somebody, which is, "What the fuck? How'd he do that?" And it's... Again, left-handed fighting is basically right-handed fighting upside down and backwards, to oversimplify things a bit. And, you know, the main advantage a left-handed fighter derives from it is that they're used to fighting mirror style, and most right-handed folks aren't. And I guess I'm here to show you and make it a little bit easier for you to deal with guys like me, because I'm 35, might as well show you. It's all downhill from here for me. So,
there's a goal.
Yeah, it's because I really care. So, I've got the 4 main weapon groups, and if we have time, we'll see if we can get fancy with some other weird-ass styles. We'll start with single sword first. And I'm going to be using Dog Boy over here a lot.
Because he's a lefty. Isn't that a theme for Dog Boy?
I'm going to be using him. Most of the time he's smiling.
Except for when Show's beating him up.
Right. That's the rest of it.
Have you found anybody that does smile when you beat him up?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a sick show.
Masochist. Anyways, now I'm just using him as an example because from here, this is how most folks are used to fighting. Somebody where it's opposing swords, opposing weapons, and it's pretty much universal. And, you know, right-handed people are usually used to having to get past someone's guard to get to the shot that they want, generally speaking. But for the lefty, it's much dirtier. It's much more in your face, and there's a lot more attrition because the sword hands are right here. And so, you know, a lot of the sword play is a lot more direct, a lot more in your face, and of course, the left-handed person is already used to that. So, let's see here. Right-handed people, how do you do it?
Want to use me as a right-handed person?
Sure, come on, hop in. Now, I guess the first lesson you want to learn when you're fighting a left-handed person is pay attention. Usually, a left-handed person will get through it because the right-handed person won't realize what's happening until it's too late. The big telltale sign of a left-handed person, their weapon will be in their left hand.
They don't really realize it.
And obviously this is a little bit harder to tell with Florentine.
Yeah, that's what makes it hard.
And of course that's also what makes Florentine an even game, or more of an even game when you're fighting a lefty. More on that later. But yeah, left-handed people usually have a weapon in their left hand. You get left-handed people, they're usually, though not always, coming on the left side of a flank because that's where the area of comfort is. And that's where yours isn't as a right-handed person. Let's see, dealing with a lefty, and this is a theme that's going to be running through the entire lesson, is the best way to start dealing with the lefty is to control the inside. Most of the fighting, let's switch places here. Most of the fighting is going to be taking place inside the body. A lot of this stuff is sometimes in a lot of fights it can be almost incidental. But above all, this area, because you're fighting mirror image, is open. And so when you're dealing with a lefty, put your shoulder back. Give them less of a target to go for. It also gives you the advantage of if the lefty's trying to go for there, because a left-handed person will usually try a cross shot. Why? Because you're not expecting it. And it makes them have to work harder. It leaves them open. And so if somebody, like, let's pretend you're the lefty and you're coming in for the cross shot, put the hand in your right hand, go for the cross shot, and this is open. And he's at a disadvantage now. So keeping control of the inside of that area there is really important, because it's the most vulnerable spots you've got. It's hard for a right-handed person to defend against it because you're not used to it. Easiest way, get it out of the way. So, if you want to partner up and give that a try, and the speed is much more important. That's why so many lefties are so fast. They have to be. So, any questions so far? Making any sense? Okay. I guess the next one would probably be arguably the fairest one between the right-handed and the left-handed person. Florentine, you got my sword. Give me. Oh, thanks.
Yep.
Now, obviously, like, the right-handed person still favors the right hand, and the left-handed person still favors the left hand, but you both got two weapons. If anybody's had any particular experience with it, you still, the two weapons even things out a little bit. But you still have to keep in mind, as a right-handed fighter, that generally speaking, that left-handed person is going to be favoring their left side. And it's easy to forget when you're in the middle of the, when you just see two swords in front of you and you're trying to get that shot in. So the extra weapon raises the stakes a little bit. It puts in more play on the other side, but you still got to be mindful of the fact that the left-handed fighter is still going for that same shot, going for that side that you don't tend to defend as readily against a right-handed fighter. So it's another facet that you add on to what's already a pretty fast and difficult thing to keep up with when you're fighting Florentine. Making sense so far? Okay. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get a bunch of Florentine guys to favor their left-hand side, because
Give him a dagger.
Yeah, give him a sword or a dagger.
yeah, well, okay, who's got a dagger?
Not it.
That's what I thought. So,
One of your weapons at all.
yeah, in order to reinforce this, we'll have
Sword down.
the offhand be the sword down. That way we can work a little bit harder on, keeping up the left-handed stuff. So, pair up again.
That's the mean